Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Good to see everybody. How are you? This is Randall and, oh, wait a minute.
Myke
Bob.
Hutchings.
It's Myke Hutchings. Bob is on his way to School of Santa, and he's driving along safely along the way. So I'm taking over Bob's spot for the week while he's getting ready for a crazy week at School of Santa. And Myke is joining us tonight. Everybody give Myke a good to see you, Myke. Welcome.
Good to see everybody. Thank you very much.
It's July 15th, everybody. Episode 22 of this year, season 3. You've got to say all those things. Can you believe that it's season 3, episode 22 already this year? How many of you been on, Myke? A few, especially Tuesday Night Lives.
I've been on a few Tuesday Night Lives. This is the first Bob and Randyl and company. So.
See, that's what's great to have company, man. Great to have company. Well, so let's get started the way Bob and I usually start the thing about good old weather back in the green room. We were talking with Angela, and Bob peeked in for just a minute while he was driving. And but Myke was telling me it was only 30-some degrees, 30 and up in Toronto. Oh, wait a minute. That's that other Celsius and not the Fahrenheit.
It's approximately it's 79 Fahrenheit, but with humidity, it's 102 Fahrenheit here. So
it's just 102. That's just wrong. I mean, unless you want to cook your eggs out in the driveway, that's just wrong. We thank goodness we don't have it. We had a little rain this morning and in the 80s, so I'm gonna knock on wood to be thankful for that. Not super heat, and I'm sure down there in Texas, Angela's saying it's mighty spicy warm there and thick. So down in Texas, it's been just crazy. I was talking to a friend last night that lives in Vegas. He's been there for the last 10, 12 years, and it got up to 122 one day last week. 122. Then whatever the heat index is after that, all I can say is that's just wrong. I mean, they say it's a dry heat, but
I was going to say it's a dry heat, but no.
It's like walking into a sauna. I mean, it's even worse than a sauna. Just boom. But well, it is better than shoveling snow. I mean, that's I hate shoveling. I shouldn't say that H word, but boy, I totally dislike. I'll put it that way. The shoveling snow. So, oh man, I'm so glad Myke is going to be he's got some great information that Myke's going to let everybody know about today. Some really cool stuff going on, and we're going to get started by Angela knows to run the something burger. Let's get started. We might as well get the old meat of the day started, and then super cool information coming up after all the things going on. But let's get the meat of the day started. So usually Bob is always so polite and so nice to me and says that I get to go first. Of course, now I get to return a favor, but I wish I could return a favor to Bob for doing it always polite to me. But it's going to be Myke's going to take the first question. It's a great question, everybody. We have some great people joining us today, so we'll acknowledge them in a minute. While we're reading why don't you read the question and we'll get started, and we'll acknowledge some of the great people that are watching already today.
Well, I've been watching online and watching all the social medias, and I see a lot of the folks out there have a Christmas in July or a summer Santa event. And I just want to ask everyone out there if they are having a summer Santa or Christmas in July or Christmas in August even. What are you doing? How do you handle these events? What makes them different from your normal everyday holiday shenanigans? So,
I guess I'll start. I'm lucky. I have 3. I just do the old spray and I tuck the hair behind the ears and I actually do some funny things since my hair doesn't. I actually cover my hair up in the back with the thing because I don't bleach my hair. But one I've done now for 3 years is a baseball game, and I actually play kind of the umpire and a referee and all that, and so I wear a baseball shirt and just interact. I don't give anything out. Santa's just there for Christmas in July for the little league teams for the game. So that's one. The other one is movie in the park at a local city here. They'll be showing the movie. I'm not even sure which one it is. The movie they're showing, the Christmas movie they're showing this year, but it'll be I will be passing out candy canes, which is different than I usually do this year. I usually do the necklaces or something, but they wanted little candy canes, and I'll be wearing a Hawaiian shirt and just look different, but no lap sitting. So none of that I do. I guess that's what makes it totally different. Um, I usually don't bring my big bells. I'll put just bells around my wrist, so they'll still have the sound, but not the ching ching ching, the big as you would for an entrance. So those are a few things, but I'm sure we got some great. What of course Phineas does. Does Phineas do?
Yeah, Phineas and Santa, we do a couple of summer Santas or Christmas. Well, for us, it happens in August. Actually, is when we do it. One of the places that we work at is it's a trailer park on the beach, and we get together with the children who are there for the summer. And again, it's just a very low key. Santa's in shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. Phineas is in his bathing suit and with the beach towel. And, we sing, we get together, and it's just sort of play games on the beach, do a quick storytelling of what Santa does over the rest of the year. Because, he's a pretty busy guy during the rest of the year, and also what the elves do over the year as well. And then the other one that Phineas does solo is that there's a church who celebrates Christmas in August. And it's basically, as the minister puts it, Christmas without all the stress.
I like that. I like
so again, it gets back to the reason of the season, why we celebrate Christmas, but it also allows Phineas to help tell the story of Christmas. And I'm lucky enough that Phineas gets to do the children's lesson and also lead Silent Night on acoustic guitar during that service. So that's quite so.
To hear that song at night, that song will always give me chills. I don't know, something about that song is phenomenal. That's cool. That's funny without the stress. I like that a lot that he says that. That is wonderful. We've got, I don't know if you can, we've got Ernie's said something, and we'll say hi to everybody in a minute.
Yep. So Ernie said that he had just had one on Lake Winnipesaukee aboard the Mount Washington cruise ship to help raise money for the Greater Lakes Region Children's Auction. And he was wearing summer Santa attire, and he was taking pictures, dancing and singing. So
I wish I could dance and sing though too. That would be amazing. But
I'm sure you can. You don't have to dance and sing well. You just have to dance and sing. A
little bit good would be okay. Just a little bit would be better than like hurting everybody's ears. Oh, Santa, quiet.
And I hope I pronounced Lake Winnipesaukee properly.
That was good. There's no way I would have gotten that. I have a hard time with a couple letter words. That was fantastic. That was great. Well, greater. And there's been so many different fantastic, like you said, posts about Christmas in July, the way Santas look. I mean, I see Steve's on there from the West Coast. He just did the one the other day, kind of a very casual one. Actually, Steve just moved from West Coast from Michigan. So, but we've got, is anybody else? We got some, we'll acknowledge everybody, then we'll see if we got somebody else in a minute. Nope, we'll do that first. AJ here is, of course. He said he's there already. Dana's here. Bill Coase, good to see you. Hi, Tammy. Jay, Patrick Moss, good to see you.
Everett's here. Everett Prestrello's here. Jeff Willette's here.
Fantastic.
And hi, AJ. Phineas isn't here today, but Myke is here. So there we go.
Yeah. You know what, AJ? They both have the knowledge. They really do. They both have the entertainment and the knowledge. They really do. So yeah, that's great. It is a fun time. I think Christmas in July has gotten to be a bigger event now. And you've got to sometimes make push to people to get it out there. They don't think about it, but it's a good one. There's another one, I think. Everett?
Yeah, Everett just popped up saying that he and his wife went to see Steve Miller, Journey, and Def Leppard in Atlanta. And of course, he wore a red Santa shirt that said, "Don't Stop Believing." So that's suitable for Journey. Well done, Everett. Very cool.
Don't stop believing. That's the way it is, especially for that. Well, we had in Detroit. They went to a Detroit. It was about 15 or 20 Santas, Mrs. Clauses went to a Detroit Tigers game and had a Christmas in July thing there too. So, yeah, I think it, it, we don't need to wear our traditional suit and have the total look. And you're still going to interact the children with love and kindness and joy. So that's the bottom line. It doesn't. You don't always have to ask them what they want for Christmas, and um, just talk about, like what Myke said, what's been going on all year long with North Pole, because there's things going on all year long. It also gets you all hyped up for the season. It does. It gets me all geeked up because I got one starting Friday night.
Yep. It recharges the batteries, I find, and I think it's fun, and seeing the looks on people because on their faces, because it's like, well, it's not Christmas, but okay, we're gonna have a jolly good time. So
And they're going to get a picture. They still can't go without getting the picture. So
yep.
So it's still that memory that will last a lifetime with them, that they've got a picture with Santa or Mrs. Claus or an elf in July or in August. And now, is there a reason? I guess let me ask that. Is there a reason why? Is it just the U.S. thing that's Christmas in July, or is it just in Canada? Is it in August, or do you know why?
I think it really just depends. It's the summer Christmas celebrations aren't as big a thing as they are here in the U.S. In Canada, I think Canadians are just kind of they're a little leery on the commercialization of stuff. But the long story short is that the events that do happen tend to be with people who want to have a good amount of fun and are playful, and they just want a reason to celebrate during the summer. And so that's pretty good. We've got some more comments.
Got a couple more.
Yep. So Bill Gorbett says that he has an event coming up this weekend. They've asked for his full suit, and he was a little hesitant, but they are willing to pay extra if he does wear it. So.
Wow.
So I hope he keeps cool and comfortable.
Get a cooling vest. You're going to need it.
Yep. Jeff Willett just commented that he was at the Tigers game the other day and was in Santa casual, and Santa Herbie threw out the first pitch, Myke Burek. So that's good to see.
That's fantastic. What a cool thing to throw out a pitch.
Yeah.
At a professional a Major League Baseball game. That's very cool. And as Herbie what if he was Herbie the Elf, or was he Santa? I'm not sure what he was, Jeff. Was he Herbie? Or he said Santa Herbie, but was he dressed up as Herbie? Was he dressed up as Santa? That's it. Probably just to do it. It's a pretty cool thing. That's it. That's a memory for Michael, for Herbie. Yeah. That's a great memory there. So
yep. Okay. Everett chimed in saying that he has a 2-day event coming up that will have brunch with Santa and Mrs. Claus. So excellent. And Doug Wright said that he did a fashion show years ago wearing Summer Santa, but he doesn't normally do July events. So there we go.
Very cool. And thanks, Jeff. Herbie was Santa and not Herbie, but everybody calls him Herbie, even though it's Myke Brewer.
Yep.
Brewer. I hope I pronounce it right.
Well, the issue is there's so many Santa Mikes in Michigan, right? So
yeah, that's a better. Is it better to call him Herbie? Then you know who he's talking about here at Maps in Michigan. So yeah, that's great, guys. I mean, that's wonderful to see that how many they're out there working, and just bringing that Christmas joy or bringing the love this time of year. And that's we need it so much. So much. We I guess you can say that every year, the way the world is going, but boy, we need it.
I was going to say definitely this year. There's definitely been an intensity the past few months, so I think it's definitely necessary. So
yeah, it's just need to, and just to bring that joy and to get yourself away from all that world for a little while, and if seeing Santa or Mrs. Claus or an elf in July because you're at a baseball game or you're at a movie or you're at a picnic event, it just one more thing to help everything. That's what we got to keep on doing. That's why you guys are so amazing. You do it. We got anybody else? We got to make sure we got everybody. Do we miss anybody, Angela? Up the line there? Make sure we didn't miss anybody. I know I don't really have any YouTube ones. I don't know if Angela should probably have YouTube on. Maybe I could read if we have any YouTube comments.
I don't see anybody in YouTube,
Okay. Okay.
Randy. So,
Okay.
and it
Oh,
looks like
Sandy Garland says something.
Sandy Garland just chimed in that he will be throwing in the first pitch at West Michigan Whitecaps baseball game on July 25th. Almost in full gear. So, and that's a Tiger farm team. So he's really excited.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
Bravo!
Just fantastic! Great! 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 It's great to see everybody. I don't know if I said hi to Bill up there, but I see you, Bill, up there. Again, welcome everybody. So we got great question. I mean, it's like I said, it's getting bigger and bigger, I believe, and sometimes you only do 3, 4 events or 5 events, but hey, Bruce, good to see you. No, you're a fellow, and it's hard to say fellow Canadian because he's more Detroit almost than he is you are over there, but he still is Canadian. He's right across the border of Detroit, but he is Canadian. So Bruce is here. Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy. Sorry about that, Sandy. Mrs. Sandy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great, guys. Thank you very much. Great. Great. It's amazing what guys and you ladies are doing, Mrs. Claus, and all that. So here's the next question, guys. So I will do the next one. Yeah, Bruce says I can see downtown Detroit from my office. So yeah, he's definitely closer to U.S. Than he is. He's actually south of Detroit. He
Technicality, I know.
Yeah, technicality. He's a southerner, you know.
Yeah.
He's south. Is it different to you guys in Canada if you're south part of Canada or northern part of Canada?
You need to realize that most of the Canadians actually live south of Seattle. So and northern is definitely a difference. So yeah.
Yeah, there is that dividing line that's everybody, even in British Columbia and way over there, even down to here. It's that border, whatever that. What is the thing called that go around the world globe? Not the equator. What are those things called? Oh my goodness, isn't that terrible?
The parallels.
Huh?
The parallels.
Parallel. Thank you. Whatever those words are. Yeah. Yeah. Most of them live south of that, and it's not. Considering the size of your country, that's where most live. But cool. Let's go on to the next one. We got another one here. This is mine. Are ready for the guys? When you do a home visit as Santa or Mrs. Claus or an elf, when you do it singly or together, it doesn't really matter. How do you enter the home? Do you enter quiet, like you're sneaking in, like you're going to put a package down? Do you enter loud, ho, 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 jingling the bells? Or do you, and how do you enter? And who decides how you enter the house? So thank you, Bruce, for latitudes. I knew a professor would know the exact word. Thank you, Bruce. Latitudes. Thank you, Bruce. I knew a professor and would have the right word. But yeah, when you do a home visit, Miss Santa and Mrs. Claus are together. How do you enter? Do you enter loud and boisterous and like it's like you're doing a grand entrance? Do you do it quiet and softly and creep in, ringing the bells or whatever? And then who do you decide? Do you decide? Does your client decide? How about you guys? How do you guys do that, Myke?
So we usually let the nature of the event decide what we're going to be doing. So if it's a family Christmas party, we typically enter with some sort of fanfare and shenanigans, be the jingling of the bells or the but if we're doing a sneak a peek, we are going to sneak in as quietly as possible and let the family discover us. The type of situation where maybe Santa might drop a package or Phineas may sneeze or something like that, just to sort of sneak in, kind of situation, draw attention. But we usually let the family who has booked us decide what they want from us. If we're doing a home visit and they say, we want you to sneak in and have the children discover you at the Christmas tree, we're going to let that happen. We will sneak in. Typically we've done it where we sneak in through the garage with the toys and everything, and do that way. So it depends on what the client wants and what the event suggests.
Yeah, see, that's exactly it's what Myke said. It's what the client wants. Even though we love to do the grand thing or whatever, it is what the client wants. We can make suggestions, of course, since we've been doing it longer than they have, but it's what the client. Then you can even give the client a few choices,
Yep.
what fits to them. I like what Myke said about sneaking in quietly and somebody hear you in another room. I think that's fantastic. It gives a little more excitement than coming in sometimes with the at the front door just ringing those bells. I think um, it's beautiful to know that. Um, Next week, I'm going to ask about how do you leave, but that's another question altogether. That's always the hardest part. It's easier. It's easier arriving to your event than it is leaving a home visit and everything else. But we'll talk about sneak ways to get out. But that's good. 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 Yeah. It's the bottom line is whatever the client, not whatever the client wants, within reason, of course. But
Yep.
you can discuss the idea about what their concept is, and we can give a few choices. So Ernie says, usually depends on if I can surprise them or who may answer the door. The bells are ho ho ho. Clients may want something re- retractable,
Uh, I, I'm going to say particular, probably.
particular. Yeah, okay. There
Yep.
you go. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what it is. Something may want if they have a special package that you want to put under the tree is probably what Ernie is saying. Get caught putting the tree or or I did it one year. I had to take an ornament that was lost, and I had to hang an ornament on a tree, and you get caught doing that and
Cool.
returning that. So it's exactly what Ernie's saying. There's something particular that the children want to see and get a picture of, and then what's wonderful if that happens, then it becomes a whole new talking point between you, Mrs. Claus, or the elf, whatever, and the children.
Yep.
I mean, you have now another total story, not just making a grand entrance. What do you want for Christmas? That's what's cool about doing those things. Or like Myke made a comment about sneezing. Oh, my God, I must there's something here. You can make whatever story up you want. Yeah, so
Yep.
it's fantastic to do all that because then sky's the limit.
Yep.
Um, and our job is to make dreams and fantasies come alive.
Yep. Yep. I
And
always put it as that we are here to make memories,
yes,
and if we create a memory for a family, remember when Santa snuck in, and we caught him, and yeah, so
that is the bottom line to keep those memories. And if you can do something out of the ordinary, something unique, I mean, it's fun to come in with the jolly ho ho ho. I mean, that just feels so good when you do that, of course. But when you do something extra special like that, um, and so next time, maybe during your booking this year, maybe suggest a few things to your home visit that you haven't done before. Come up with some ideas that you can do something different like that. And like Myke said, make memories for the children. And then you have something more, another story. It's not always then you have to read a book. You can talk about, you can take that incident and make a bigger story about it, which is always so fun. And I know it's terrible to say that our job then is to lie to the children. But maybe it's not the lie is the right word. I guess that maybe not the, but we have to embellish our stories to make those fantasies and dreams and memories come true. So hopefully we got anybody else there. Ernie, was that one? They're good.
we just have Ernie, but we
Ernie.
do have Judy Clausen watching with us. Rex Ray has joined
Hey
us.
Rex, good to see everybody.
Santa Doug from Illinois, and I do believe it is either Santa Tracy or his wonderful wife Elizabeth has joined us as well from Branson. So good to see you.
Wow. Good to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Bob's on his way to Branson. He's somewhere I thought he said he's in Missouri somewhere. So well we wish him of course safe travels and to get there. And of course anybody that's going traveling anywhere, or especially down to School of Santa for safe travels to get down there and have a wonderful week. It's just action packed. So fantastic, guys. Good, good, good.
Looks like it's going to be an action-packed time in Branson this week.
Oh,
So
I mean, with Jeff McMullen being there, I mean, just to listen to Jeff and the other instructors, it's Santa Doug says, "Love your background, Myke. It is a very cool. Isn't that a cool background, guys? That's very nice. Love the North Pole sign, and the stars just stand out for a. It is a screen, right?
it is a screen. It is a photographic backdrop.
It's totally different than what you mainly see out there.
Yep. So,
Very cool. Hey, Mark, Santa Mark here from Alabama. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So that's good, guys and ladies. Excuse me, Sandy and everybody that's there. I appreciate you chiming in on the questions. It's just something to think about for the upcoming season. The two things we talked about. So, of course, the upcoming season for Christmas in July is happening right now. So you can't think very long on those.
nope.
You can't think very long on those. But good luck to everybody that is doing that this year, and of course, getting ready for. I mean, it's crazy to think, Myke. Can you believe it's 162 days and Christmas is over?
Yep.
Christmas is over 162 days.
Yep.
Most Santas and Mrs. Clauses or whoever probably start the first week. I mean, possibly in November. That's really early, but that's 110, a little over 100 days away.
Yeah, it's coming on quickly. It just not too long ago, it was Leon Day, and halfway through the year to Christmas. And yeah, it's.
I don't mean this is kind of an odd thing. Who do you know, or maybe any of our members will know, why is it called? Just because, I mean, I realize Leon is Neil spelled backwards, but does anybody know who did that or who invented that? As we should keep that for a trivia question.
I think we should keep it for a trivia question.
We should for a trivia question. Yeah. I think I'm curious. I've just gone along with it for years. Yeah, it's Leon Day. Okay.
Yep.
Why? I mean, I understand why. It's halfway there, but yeah, who was the inventor and thought about that? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Santa Doug says he's looking forward to red suit. Thank you. Yeah, Doug, we're looking forward to red suit. That's only 2 weeks from Friday starts.
2 weeks from Friday, yeah.
My goodness. We're going to talk more about that in just a few minutes here. So, but looks like we got all the answers for the questions. Again, thank you, folks, always so much for answering and being a part of that. Like Bob says, it is a wonderful part of the show, interacting with some ideas and things to make everything better in your professionalism. Everybody that's here, we really appreciate it. So, I guess it's time, Angela, for the Santa Clausette. I say net. It's Clausette.org. And our sponsor.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob, Randyl and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Welcome back, everybody. And I have to say thank you again to Santa Wade and all Santa Claus for having some amazing products and always being a great supporter of ours, for giving out gifts every week for this. And of course, now what's been going on is we basically kind of have two gifts for every event that's going on. One, of course, from Wade and Santa Closet to, and then also the winner of these, your name will go in the hat for the scholarship for the North Pole Cornerstones of 2025. So it's like you got, and that's like a $500 gift there. Hello, Mel. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're safe there down in Branson. Good to see you, Mel. Thanks for joining.
Mel stated that she's just getting ready to leave.
Getting ready to leave. Okay, ready to leave. Oh, be careful. It's got a long drive there. Long drive. Be careful.
And Paul Anderson from Beamsville, Ontario, has joined us as well. So
welcome.
Another Canadian here. So
welcome. We're leaving at 10 o'clock tonight. They had 10 o'clock tonight.
Ooh.
You're driving all night, huh? Wow. That's let's hope you got a car full to keep you awake, or a lot of Red Bull or something. I don't know. Just be careful. Anybody traveling, please be careful. But again, it's a great thing to get your gift every week from a trivia question. Besides, now you get your name in a hat to get a chance to win a scholarship, and that's a huge gift. We'll talk about North Pole Cornerstones again in a few minutes.
Yep.
But here is the question. It's an easy one. Actually, Mr. Mike's going to read it because Bob always makes me read it, but I'm going to make Mike read it. So.
Okay, and the trivia question is: where, when, and what was the original tinsel for Christmas trees made out of? So, where was the original tinsel created? When was it created, and what was it made out of? So we are looking for a place, a time, and a substance.
And we had just three answers. It's a pretty easy one, but I thought, Bob always gives the blank ones, and since Bob's got the day off, I thought I'd sneak in a really easy one this time. So he doesn't have the day off. He's got a long drive with him and Carol driving down there, but it's but I thought I'd give an easy one. And of course, Angela will do the same thing. Angela still has to pick through everybody to see who got it in there first between Facebook and StreamYard and YouTube and this and that. So, but sorry, Angela, you still got to do all that. So even if it's an easy one. So, but yeah, it's a fun one. Of course, then now we got one more great sponsor that we have added to all the shows here. Of course, we all know there's 4 shows a week, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. But let's run the item for Talbot Insurance. Wow, that's great. Talbot Insurance, again, Larry does insurance for everything. If it's car, if you're car and auto, same thing. Well, I don't know. Do you call it auto, or you call it cars over there in Canada? Is it automobile?
It's automobile insurance.
Just car insurance here. Where I guess we're a little lazier. We just want that 3-letter word to say. But home, of course, and we all need liability insurance.
Yep.
It's and I'll say it, I don't know if this is the right way. It's crazy not to have it. For a few $100s, have liability insurance, especially here in the States. I don't know how sticklers they are in Canada, but there's a lot of events you can't even do without proving it, or cities that you can't do it. You can't work them unless you prove you have liability.
Yep.
A few $100, like Bob has said many times, it's one event, 2 events, maybe it's paid for, and it just covers you for that. And Larry and the Talbot Insurance have done so for 30 some years, I think he said. So he can help out in many ways. So, and again, he's been a great supporter of all the shows coming up. And is it a big thing in Canada as it is here, Mike?
It's important in Canada as well to have insurance, just to protect yourself, and also to ensure that everyone is protected, basically.
Yeah, and you don't know what. I mean, what's great about Larry's, and I think, I don't know if the other ones are doing it now either, but I mean, a lot of us, I mean, people out there have those gorgeous $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 suits. And they get ruined, and that's a big chunk comes out of your pocket. And if you're only paying a few $100s for your insurance, it's worth it. Or if somebody gets hurt, you just don't want to take. I'll never forget many years ago that when I first started getting it for my magic business, I I didn't think it was a big deal. I was young. I didn't think it was a big deal, and I was going to a mall, and there was a performer on stage, a magic friend that I was going to go see, and a child ran because he heard the music, and he wanted to do see the show. He tripped, hit his teeth, and popped them out. Well, the magician was getting sued,
Mm-hmm.
not the mall, and this child was really nowhere near the show yet. But just because his music was playing and the child got hurt, they had the right to sue
Yep.
the entertainer. So I at the time I couldn't believe it, but of course I found out it wasn't me, thank goodness. But ever since then, I've been getting insurances. Thousands I've shelled out. Thank goodness, I'll knock on wood again that I haven't had to use it. But you just can't take the chance. So
No, you
get a
can't.
hold of Larry. And there's other providers out there too, but Larry's a great provider for us here on the shows.
Yes.
So speaking of shows, we're going to pop that in first before we get into the things that are coming up around. Of course, we all know, yes, there's 4 nights. There's 4 nights of entertainment going on here. And I just have to do it. Bob doesn't have his sign, but I will always do my sign.
Free.
Of course, they're all free.
Free.
Monday is, there you go. Angela's going to do it. All right, Angela. Woo-hoo! Hey, everybody say hi to Angela, everybody. Great to see you. So,
Hey.
of course, Monday, Bob Randyl and Company. You watch every Monday here at 3 Central or 4 Eastern. Of course, Tuesday Night Live, 7 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Excuse me, the other way around. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. There we go. Tuesday Night Live, Tuesday night with some incredible guests. We'll talk about who's coming up. Man, we got a lineup. And, of course, Wednesday night now is Crinkle Time with Michael Howe and Herbie, which we talked about earlier, that threw the first pitch at a Tigers baseball game. Herbie, the Crinkle brothers there. And then, of course, Thursday night is Mel. Love you, Mel. Safe trip. Speaking of Mel, I'm just going to, if you're still watching, but we'll talk about the wrap-up dinner and helping out. Might change my mind here if I'm still in town. Just had we had a talk the other night on the phone. Thursday night, of course, is Mel's Magical Fellowship, an hour. It's 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock Eastern time. Then at 7 o'clock is Alternates. First and third is Wingnut the Elf. Crazy Erica Mitten does some crazy stuff. The second and fourth is Sean White, Finch's Mrs. Claus. So 4 nights in a row of fun education, interacting, laughing, just having a good time. Yep. Bob, Angela, I want to thank you guys so much for putting all this together. I know you can't hear me, Bob, but thank you so much for allowing me also to be a part of it. We should all give both of them. They put a lot of time and effort into all that. So I wish you knew how much time I wake up in the morning and there's a script that Bob did at 3 o'clock in the morning and everything else. So yeah, it's fantastic. So I had to say that for 4 nights free. It's crazy. But of course, coming up, we talked about earlier about North Pole Cornerstones. If you want to, you can take and read the North Pole there, Michael, since you're going to do with that a little later. So we're going to, so you might as well take the goodie if you want to talk about that one. You have that sheet, that the show sheet script?
Yep. So North Pole Cornerstones, it's the second annual session to be held January 31st to February 2nd, 2025 in San Antonio, Texas. At the Marriott Northwest. Save the date. To register, go to North Pole Cornerstones, npcornerstones.com, and you can go register now.
Yeah, like I said, there's other information that Mike's going to have a little later that's going to blow your mind. It's going to be super, super cool. Super cool. And of course, coming up in September is Santa Nana Holiday University. In Phoenix and Scottsdale, Arizona on September 26th through the 29th. Judy and excuse me, and then we'll be doing the Santa Ana University. So it's a great course. And again, it's not just for Mrs. Claus. It's out there. It's for everybody. They do a great job. And of course, they're connected with North Pole Cornerstones too, since
Yep.
it's kind of a I don't know. It's different than putting both of those schools together. It's totally different. So, but don't miss. And of course, what's coming up this week? And everybody's a few people are on their way. Mel's leaving tonight. Of course, Bob's on his way to School of Santa for good old Spangle and his world down there in Branson, Missouri.
Yes.
The 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st in Branson, Missouri.
Branson, Missouri, with Jeff McMullen as their keynote speaker and instructor. Jeff McMullen, of course, from Kringle University. So
that's it's going to be. I mean, Spangle just puts a super event tomorrow. David said, I apologize jumping in here. David said that he has a Santa. We have a special summer Santa story. We have a special summer Santa story. Would like to hear about it. If you want to type it in there, if it's not too long, David, type it in and we can read what your story's about. Interesting. But yeah, it's the week of School of Santa, and it's what Spangler's always said. It's where education and entertainment combine. He keeps you going nonstop. So, Bart, good to see you. Welcome from Wisconsin. Good to see you. And of course, that starts everything going on tomorrow night for the School of Santa is Branson Live. It's the preview show. Is there going to be live coverage down there at the School of Santa with Spangle and Jessica Rosa and of course Bob's going to be down there. Scott's going to be there, and the whole TNL lineup crew are going to be there. Special guest they're going to talk to is Judy and Rick Maynard. They're here from the northern part of Michigan up here. Actually, it's closer to this side, actually. Talk about his book and maybe some TV idea or movie that he's going to do. So that's phenomenal. That's really, and of course, what they've done is Santa and Mrs. Claus. Mm-hmm. But that's tomorrow night, July. That's the middle of July, dude. That's crazy. So you want to take it from the 18th? Go ahead, Myke.
Okay, so Thursday the 18th, TNL Network Productions will be doing Thursday Night Live special with Bob, Scott, Melissa, and AJ. So, and AJ has noted that Thursday special will include himself, Mel, Bob, Scott, maybe even Spangle, he says, and tells everybody not to forget to tune in. So
it'll be it's always fun to do a live thing. It's really special for that. So that's live down there in Branson.
Yeah.
Cool. Then the 30th, your brother.
30th, Dr. Bruce Kodovich will, who is the interim director at University of Windsor School of Creative Arts, also known as Santa Bruce Jerian. He will be the guest and talking about all things Santa, St. Nicholas, protecting your voice, singing maybe even. So looking forward to that. Bruce always has a plethora of information. So
yeah, that protecting your voice that's something I didn't do for many years. And thank you, Bruce. I don't know if you're still out there, Bruce, but thank you, Bruce, many years ago about listening to how to take care of your voice and not straining it. So, I mean, you start the season the beginning of November and you go to Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and it's just you just can't talk anymore. I mean, even if you do a long day, and some great ideas that Bruce has really has helped. So thank you, Bruce, but don't miss that show.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Just also before we go further, I'd like to welcome Santa Adam Renfro, Doug Wright, and Bart Gaffney. They've just joined us. And then starting August 6th, we've got Santa Jim Langley, who has 50 years experience portraying the man in the big red suit. So
that's a long time. That's a long time.
And he's also proficient in American Sign Language. So it will be a very informative and interesting conversation.
Yeah, just think the stories in 50 years.
Yep.
The things that children have said or happened, or just the unique opportunities that you were confronted with, or questions you had to answer. Because questions were different 50 years ago than they are now.
Heck, questions were different 10 years ago than they are.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that is very true. Even less than that. I mean, it's or just what the children wanted. I mean, it would be nice if you can. I don't remember much about when I first started about what they're asking for. It would be great if Santa Jim maybe might remember a few things that your children were uh, asking about. It's like I guess think about it. 50 years ago, I was how old? I was still pretty old then. Maybe I wasn't asked Santa Claus at that age. I was still pretty too old to ask Santa for something. But Cabbage Patch Dolls. Did the Cabbage Patch Dolls go 50 years ago? I think that was about 40 years ago.
Well, 40 years ago or so.
40
Yeah.
years, so maybe 45 at the max. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I ramble. You know that, everybody. Next, go ahead, Myke.
August 13th, we've got Santa's tailor, Bill Dendy. He will be, he's a designer and maker of bespoke Christmas clothing. So that will be a fantastic conversation, and maybe he'll have some stuff to show. So who knows? And then following up with the maker of bespoke Christmas items for clauses, we have Pamela Swank Yates on August 20th, and she is Swanky Santa. She creates handmade with care from quality materials. I know because I just bought a wonderful new sack for Santa to bring with us on home visits. That is spectacular. She has incredible designs, and the process to get your stuff created with her is a joy. So,
Wow. See, with those last two people there on the 13th and the 20th, that's why you need insurance to take care of your suits, because they're custom made for you. They're not off the rack $300-400 suits. So that's why you need insurance. It has those goodies on there too. So
yep.
I don't want to push insurance so much. I'm not an insurance salesman, but it's a good one. So I don't know if I sent the other one to you. I know we have some other things coming up after that. Hey there, everybody. Say hello to Bob, everybody. Bob, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Hope the drive's doing good.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes from Branson. We'll be there. And I'm glad Myke had to pronounce that W word at the beginning, because I could not have done it.
I never would have either. That was fantastic. I sure was lucky when I handed off to Myke on that one. I was lucky. That's a good one, man. I got to give you a thumbs up, Myke.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was good. Very good. So how's the ride been, Bob? How's the travel been?
It's been good. We left the house at 6:30 this morning. Run into 3 truck wrecks.
Wow.
In the Texas side of things.
Wow, that's a lot. 3 truck wrecks.
It was a mess. Out for lunch, and like I say, we should be in Branson here in about 15 minutes.
Fantastic.
Way through the field, so.
As long as you guys are happy and healthy and safe driving, as long as nothing happened on the way for you. I feel sorry for whatever the truck drivers went through. But yeah, that's I get a cold chill when I hear truck accidents. I still get that'll never change. So that'll never change. But I'm glad you're almost there, Bob. You can, and then your week of nonstop is starting. Well, it started at 6 o'clock this morning. It really was.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
TV.
Mel's not leaving till 10 o'clock tonight. She'll be driving all night long.
Well, she says Roger's going to be driving all night long. So
Yeah, that's
okay. And Roger, yeah,
they're stopping in Kentucky too, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
It would make sense for get a little nap in there before you go all the way. Just safe travels, everybody, for a great week, because it's my job is to keep Roger awake. Oh, you gotta, yeah, that'd be a great job. Make sure you don't fall asleep then to keep Roger awake. But yeah, that's and that's all we want is just everybody safe to get down there and for a great week of fellowship and everything else. So that's we're just getting to the who's coming up, of course, Bob. That's where we've gotten to now. Great crew of people watching. So
I've
it's
been watching backstage, and you do have a good crowd today. And just want to say that I'm excited to see what Myke has to announce here in a moment. And I talked to Scott a little bit ago, and they were able to go ahead and get into the conference center today, and have made a lot of progress on getting set up. So won't be as much for me to do when I get there. It'd be nice.
well, take a little break then. Drive off to the side of the road, see a little sightseeing. Just take a little longer. Make sure everything's done there, Bob, before you get there. Oh, you had a little, there was a lot of traffic. It was
Good idea.
there was a detour. Come up with something, I had a show in the northern tip of right here in the northern tip of Michigan on Saturdays where I was, and it's about a 2-hour drive for me usually, but it took 2.5 because I had such a long detour. So see, you can get an extra half hour with no problem, especially as long you're going. You could definitely, yeah. That's as long as bottom, like I said, as long as everybody's safe. No nap Red Bull. Okay, that's what Mel says. Yeah, no nap, just full of Red Bull. I can't drink that stuff. I'm sorry. It's bad enough the ticker beating out of the chest. It's that I don't really like the flavor is just wrong on that stuff. That maybe tastes good, it'd be all right. But oh well. But we also have coming up, Bob, so listen here. We also have coming up is Santa Wade on August 27th. Of course, Santa Wade is the president and CEO of iBurbs. So that'll be a great new leadership, and Bob's going to be interviewing and on Tuesday Night Live on August 27th. Then can you believe this, Myke and Bob? Well, Bob believes this. He's been doing it for a long time.
I've been doing it.
September 3rd, we'll be celebrating 150 shows. I mean, come on. I mean, that's like congratulate him. That's like a great commitment and a lot of work. I mean, 150 years. It'll be episode for 150. That's on September 3rd. Man, it's a lot of great information, a lot of laughter, and there's some tears in some of those there through some of the very, very heartwarming stuff. So, and of course, you can see them all because they're all for free. So don't miss them all. And of course, this one, Bob was working on for quite a while, and I got to again give thumbs up for this one big time. September 10th is Phil Wentz, Santa's Village. Yep, and Santa that runs Santa's Village down there. Doesn't do a whole lot of external stuff like this, but it's going to be on Tuesday Night Live. That is so cool. That's going to be a very interesting and very cool interview on Tuesday Night Live on September 10th.
Yeah.
Bob's got a whole bunch of more people, but he'll do that when we get back. He gets back next week, but that takes it all the way to August 22nd. Of course, these dates are already set. August 22nd is the Tuesday Night Live special, the fourth annual roundtable. Talk about what's going on in the industry, getting the last minute things together for the holiday season on October 22nd. October. It's hard to even say that word already that far in advance, but it'll be there before then. Of course, then October 29th is the Halloween special, which has always been just a riot. Just been so many cool costumes, so much fun. That's October 29th is the Halloween Christmas party. And of course, then it's hard to say this, but last Tuesday Night Live of the year is November 5th.
Yep.
November 5th for the season, and that's starts everybody's season. So, but man, it's incredible, guys. Don't miss it. Don't miss it at all. So much to go. What we have next is the answer. We do have a winner there, Angela, for the trivia. Let me ask that before I.
We have a winner. Yes,
okay.
We're ready for that.
All righty, Myke, go ahead and take the question again and let everybody know the answer. And
the question was, where was it created? When was it created? And what was the original material that was used to make tinsel for Christmas trees? And so, where, when, and what was the original material for Christmas trees? And the tradition of using tinsel on Christmas trees may have originated in Nuremberg, Germany around 1610. The word tinsel comes from the French word estincelle, which means to sparkle. The original tinsel was made from thin strands of real silver that were hammered into shape and used to reflect the candlelight on the Christmas tree. However, this was quite expensive and inaccessible for most people, and it would tarnish quite easily, especially once it came into contact with flames.
That's crazy. Real silver. That's just crazy that they did that. And way back in 1610. So the winner is?
Diane Vian.
Hey, Diane, congratulations.
Diane.
Congratulations, Diane. Again, that gets a gift from Santa Closet. And, of course, your name in the hat again for North Pole Cornerstones. And that just, it's nice that we've done this year than the whole year. And Bob, you can tell me again when we'll be picking the winner for the North Pole, the
scholarship.
The scholarship for the. That's okay. Bob can do it next year.
This particular scholarship is the TNL Network Productions.
Right.
And we will be drawing it at the end of the year. And there is also available a North Pole Cornerstone Scholarship from the school itself, and it will be drawn at the end of the year. You can go over to npcornerstones.com and hit the tab for scholarship and apply. And anybody can win. You just gotta, fill out the information and the instructions there. And then that's pretty cool. There's a couple right there, but I know I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I know there's others. So we'll leave it at that.
We will get to that really soon.
We'll get to that quickly enough.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one, guys. So that's good, guys. Again, congratulations, Diane. Congratulations. You got both there going. So, I mean, again, that's crazy to win a scholarship like that. It's hundreds of dollars. And there's going to be so much fun at the river walk down there. The school itself is unique, how the way they divide up into classes and segments to work one-on-one with everybody. And so it's a great event for everybody that's attending. Then when you get to 10 for bingo for free, of course you have to travel there.
Yeah, and Myke is an alumni of North Pole Cornerstones. He might talk a little bit about the breakouts and things if he wishes.
Yep. Again, North Pole Cornerstones is a school unlike others. It is not a school where you just sit back and get information handed to you. No, you've got to get up and do stuff. You've got to get up and perform. You're actually going to be videoed doing some of your performances, and there will actually be some coaching and critique being done as you're performing, and so it is quite an active school. It is just very educational, and again, you have to be willing to get up and work, because this is your education, and it's going to make you a better performer. So definitely,
and like Myke says, be a better performer, because that's what we are. We're all performers. And so that's it. Just makes us a better performer, to make those memories stronger and to bring bigger smiles. So to go to a class that you can actually perform and and rehearse in a way, you might as well say, and then get critiqued or one-on-one help with your fellow, because we don't get help much with other people that we work. We don't work with other performers as Santa or Mrs. Claus. That's a great place to get it, and some great teachers between Judith and everybody, and Bob and Rex, and I mean, just goes on and on. The talent that's there. I mean, Rex, Hall of Fame. Come on, guys. It's just so. It's going to be extra special again for everybody. So good. I think Shannon. I don't know when Shannon was on. I said hi earlier, but hi Shannon. Good to see you. So I guess that means we've got something else going on here. I think we might do. No, should we keep you, Myke, for the very end, or you want to let everybody know what's going on now?
Entirely up to you. Entirely
Let's
up
do
to
it
you.
now, since we're kind of hitting there. Let's go ahead and do that now, Myke.
So because we're hinting about North Pole Cornerstones, I have been for the past 5 years running a scholarship for Santas and Christmas performers. And this scholarship was formed out of a bequest that my deceased partner made that has been aimed at furthering the education for Christmas performers. But it's furthering the education for Christmas performers who are interested in performance. So this will be for someone who is interested in doing the stage shows, in doing the tree lighting ceremonies, and doing the interactive events. So this year's, for 2025, I will be providing the scholarship, which will be the tuition only for North Pole Cornerstones. And I have chosen North Pole Cornerstones because they are offering something a little deeper than, well, this is how you ho, 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 and here are the names of the reindeer. Because the North Pole Cornerstones experience is interactive and geared at instilling a better performer in the attendees, and requires work from the performance, from the participants. That's why I've chosen North Pole Cornerstones. So the criteria for this, I'd prefer the recipient first and foremost to be Canadian, and I will make the offer to a Canadian first because I would like to support the folks from Canada who may not have the opportunity. As I was telling Randyl earlier today, the Canadian dollar is not great compared to the American dollar. One American dollar is worth $1.40 Canadian, so it is definitely an expensive proposition. So that's the first criteria. I will offer it to a U.S. citizen if I don't have a valid Canadian request. The Santa or the Christmas performer in question must show a desire to further their skills and improve on their presentation and performance skills, and show signs of that they're putting the work towards it. So when you contact me to apply, I'm going to ask you, what have you done to educate yourself? What steps have you taken to become a better performer? When you don the suit or the dress or the elf outfit, you need to be able to radiate that you are that Christmas character and not, oh, there is Joe in his Santa suit. And this must be the X factor that other people say, yeah, they are Santa, or yes, they are my Mrs. Claus. And you must be willing and able to travel down to San Antonio, Texas at the end of January 2025, because I am going to be providing that opportunity. I don't want it to go to waste. So once again, from January 31st to February 2nd, 2025 in San Antonio. And that's the main thing, is I am providing tuition only. Any travel expenses, hotel fees, and any other stuff, you will have to cover yourself. So be sure you're able to make that event, and then we can talk.
Fantastic. Like Myke says, it's great to have our brothers and sisters north of our U.S. border get something like that, because, like Myke says, I mean, that's a big dollar exchange. So let's even take it, for instance, if it is $400, that's really $600 Canadian.
Yep.
Or close to even more than that, technically.
Yes.
So that's a big dollar amount given to whatever Santa or Mrs. Claus or Elf north of the northern border, and it's well put, meaning to further your performance. And can you believe? there's actually then three. I mean, there'd be three people that get to go to this great school. The school itself will be free. I mean, so
Yep.
between the Tuesday Night Live one, the one that's being drawn, and then of course Myke's now. That's phenomenal for that school because of how special, like Myke said, Myke's been there. Of course, Bob is puts timeless effort into it to make the school what it's going to be for a long time. So that's a positive thing. So, Myke, I'm sure we'll get more information about how they can connect with you, when the deadline is, and all those things, because it'll be here before we know it. And they're going to need, like you said, you're going to need to know that you can get to San Antonio in plenty of time.
Yep.
And of course, the sooner you book a flight and everything, usually you can save a little bit of money that way.
Yep.
Because if you're coming from Toronto or somewhere, or British Columbia or wherever you might be coming, that's not too long of a drive. Well, British Columbia might not be too bad. It's closer to Toronto, probably, wouldn't it? Right.
Probably not. So
Yeah, it's just as
Yeah.
east or west is probably just as far. So,
Yeah.
But fantastic, Myke. Thank you, Myke, very much. And who's ever going has got to thank you too. And just because I know you care and you've been a performer for a long time, do a lot of different things, and you care about how the performance is, and we all want to make our performance better, to make the children happier, to make those memories. Like Myke said earlier, it's to make those memories, and that can't be emphasized enough. I know sometimes it's said a lot, but that is the bottom line. Santa will be around for way past we're gone, but those memories can last through generations. I mean, it'd be cool to. I don't think people do photo albums anymore, which is really too bad. It'd be neat to see old photo albums, in 50 years from now, 100 years from now, and there you're in a picture with that big smile and with the children. But that's why we do it. So, yeah, that's why we do it. Yeah, Bill, you're right. Wow, Myke, that's awesome. Is right, Myke. Thank you, Myke, very much for that. And Myke's going to do a special little teaching moment here in a little while too. So, since he's been, like I said, performing for how many years, Myke, has it been around even?
38 years now.
38 years. I mean, come on, that's fantastic. You don't look a day over 38 yourself.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I lied. You look a day old. You look a day over 38.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, really, Myke, you don't look much over 48. You really don't, Myke. You really don't.
Thank you.
You really don't look over 48. Really.
I'll make sure you get your eyes checked when I see you at the conclave. So
yeah, see, that's like Bob. I owe Bob so much money here with all those wonderful introductions. I don't know. It's gonna empty my bank account one of these days with all those wonderful introductions. Bob, are you okay? You didn't just roll the car, did you, Bob?
No, we're good.
Okay, this scared
I
me.
got the phone.
Bob going.
Got the phone stuck in my steering wheel again.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that scared me. I shouldn't say that, but I rolled a car on my 16th birthday. I got my driver's license 8 o'clock in the morning, and 3 o'clock that afternoon I rolled a car. So I know what it feels like to when you're upside down. So that's kind of a scary thing. So
I was just wondering if Six Flags designed the highways in Missouri or something like that.
Wow. That's I think Bob's been either Bob's been drinking too much or we have watching him, one of the two. Where's that Red Bull? No, we need to wake up a little bit here on that one. So well, thanks, Myke, again. Thanks, Myke, very much for that. That's very go ahead, Bob.
I was gonna say here, I've got the phone stuck in my steering wheel, so that's the reason it's doing what it's doing.
Okay.
We got off the highway and got onto the road leading up to the conference center here. We're in the north side of Branson, coming into the hotel. So
Mel put a sign up here, and Mel says, I will cover one meal plan for the, must be winter, not winter. The winner, if you would like, and John's name.
Well, Mel, the best part is that the hotel has breakfast free as part of the room. And then your tuition at North Pole Cornerstones covers
Lunch.
your meals, your lunch, and your dinner. The only meal that you had to buy at the first one was you had to pay for a ticket to the barbecue.
Wow.
And that was the only extra meal cost that you had.
It's a wonderful offer, Mel, for John.
So it's a
That
wonderful
really is.
offer, but NPC covers just about everything but the hotel and travel costs.
So Mel just jumped in really quick after that, since it says, she goes, then cool, then I'll throw in 200 towards travel.
Excellent.
Wow.
I'll work that out with you, Mel, once we have a winner decided. So
Mel, you're incredible. You really are. You have
are
no idea what an incredible lady and asset you are to this business. Thank you. Yeah. So let's. Mel, you're incredible. I guess it's that time to do some tips, and then we're going to go on. Mike's got a special, going to be a great teaching moment too. It'll be so cool to see. So I guess we did that. What am I missing? I think we got them all, those things. I guess it is Santa's tips is next, and then we got, since Bob's not going to do his nightcap, Mike's going to do a special thing. So very, very cool. So run Santa's tips, Angela. Hello, everybody, and thank you again for letting me have some fun and show you a couple ideas of some things on Santa's tips. We all know, we all do, we all, of course, read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and we all emphasize the fun stuff, or stop and pause and let the children answer the question. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, or whatever you're going to do, or there's different types of books you can use. But there's also then fun stuff I've added some years. Of course, we all know not a creature was stirring. And this is a fun little one. Oh, not even a mouse. These are little tiny, it's a little package under the tree, and there are little mices in there. It's fun to do interactive stuff also to help. It's a little finger puppet thing, but it's their little tiny mouse, and the children think they're so cute. Not a creature was stirring. Not even a mouse. And they pop out, and oh, little mouse, of course. The children think they're just as cute as can be. Again, it just takes your story. "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and you can do it throughout the whole thing. The stockings were hung. You can bring out a stocking if you want to, but they're fun little just finger puppets to add to the story that we've been known to read. And of course, Bob does a great job on the nightcap. But there's so many great books to read. You don't always have to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." It is my favorite, but I've got a stack of books that I keep along when I'm doing visits. But then when you add something, and that's what I like to do. If I know I've got to do it, there's a house that I've done for 18 years, and it's just the tradition. They want me to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." So every year I've added or changed something. And last year I added the little mousies, and the children just, even though children get older and little everything else, when you can add something else to add the interest or animation or fun to your story, besides your inflections and besides your smile and everything else, or your mighty ho-ho, or whatever you're going to do, it adds so much fun. So, I love props, I love all kinds of stuff. And this is also another one. Whatever a child is there to help on some things. This is just a magic trick. Well, it's not a magic trick, but it's a joke magic wand. Of course, you hand this to the child and it falls apart. But it's a candy cane instead. it just adds fun to the interaction with the children. It's easy to carry because it's a magic wand with a string through it that you just hold stiff, but you hand it to the child and they grab it, and of course they giggle, and you do then you make it straight again. But any little thing that you can add to add a little bit of fun, a little bit of giggles to that time, instead of, I've done that for years. Of course, the spring wand I use in the Magic Act, but I like the candy cane. Of course, it fits the character of Santa like very well. And of course, we all know about the Christmas flower. Of course, Christmas flowers smell so. Christmas flowers, of course, smell so. You've got to have the children smell it. There's something about Christmas. And of course, you can have fun with the children with it's called a folding flower. Mrs. Claus can, an elf can. It's just on a little pulley. You can get them online or in a magic shop, but it's a Christmas flower that you can even, tell the children it can kind of tickle your ear, and it'll move by itself, and the children won't see your finger moving it down. It's your baby finger moving it down. But it's one more thing that you can use as a fun prop to get them giggling, to get that memory. So when you leave, they might talk about something like that, different than just asking about what you wanted for Christmas, or I got a candy cane, or I got coins. Of course, I love them and the things, but some little things that you can add and take out for shows for your performance is just fun. And it's just like Myke said earlier, it's those memories that we want to keep. And if they can remember, I say this every week, if they can remember you as Santa or you as Mrs. Claus, that gets you rebooked. That makes you special amongst everybody else. We all know, of course, this is something that's necessity. We all know, of course, the delights. That I think is something everybody should have anyway. I bought a set here. These are actually multicolored ones. They actually change. I guess you can't really see them, but these change blue and green, and they're not just white or red. So my thumb's too big to fit into it, so I have to use my pointy finger. But in a glove, you can't see anyway. So of course, everybody knows about the delights, and you pick the light off the tree, or you loosen it and relight it. But those are the things you can do on a regular basis, or always have them with you, because they don't take up much room. To add that little bit more magic, that little bit more fantasy, that little more maybe belief of fun with the children. Because remember, the child now is 8 or 9. Well, there might be a 5-year-old just coming there, or a younger one. They haven't seen that before. I know that's something I didn't do for years. The coloring book, which I've talked about, I always thought it was a child's thing, but I keep on forgetting that there is another set of children that are 5, 4, whatever, that are coming up that never saw that. It's all new to them. So the delights, especially since they've been around for a long time, have them with you. But some of the other things, try to enhance your storytelling. It's fun to read a book. It's fun to interact, because reading a book and telling a story, of course, we all know are two different things. But if you can then take a story that you know so well, and it could be even doing Frosty the Snowman, and you just want to have snowballs at the end, whatever your mind can think about it. And that's, I said it last year like crazy. That is our greatest gift, is to get your mind to work and to get that imagination flowing about what we can do to make us special. So do that. I always like to show you. And again, thank you so much for letting me show you some of these weird things. And again, most of these things are just magic props, but you can take them, and especially if you get a red flower for Christmas, you can incorporate them as Santa or Mrs. Claus. You can make up your own story. It's making your own backstory. And that's what we're all about, is making a backstory, making it believable, keeping that belief a little bit, letting them believe a little longer each and every year. Because boy, like we said at the beginning of the show, things are crazy again this year, like crazy, and there's a lot of anger out there and everything else. And hopefully we can bring that much more, well, that much more joy and happiness and love into this world just because of the character we portray, if it's Santa, Mrs. Claus, or no. That is our job. That is our duty. That we need to do that. We need to let them get away from that craziness that's out there, and keep the belief going. Thank you again, guys, for letting me be able to just mumble this stuff. Thank you so much. I'm blessed. Thank you. Of course, guys, now Myke has some great things to do. Myke's going to show you some things.
Well, thank you very much, Randyl, for sharing your wonderful ideas with props and everything. I do definitely like the sagging candy cane. That is a great idea. And for my not a nightcap, I was thinking about what I could talk about, and Randyl commented on the fact that very often, up until recently, Santas did not work with other Christmas performers, and other Christmas performers did not get a chance to work with Santas. And it's becoming more and more a thing where now someone will hire a Santa for an event, and they said, "Oh, by the way, we've got a Mrs. Claus, or we've got an elf, or we've got the mean green guy coming up." And so I was thinking about how people who are hired for these events could think about how they are able to work with these other performers and understand how they work and what to do. And so I always, as Phineas, when I am tasked with working with a Santa I've never worked with before, I usually offer to give my contact information to the person booking us and ask them to have the Santa or Mrs. Claus reach out to call me. And that way we can discuss what the Santa would like to see from Phineas as support as an entertainer, and maybe what Phineas could do to help Santa out and provide Santa with ideas. And so that is something that I would like a lot of Santas and Mrs. Clauses and other Christmas performers to begin doing, is reach out to the other performers, find out who they are. And, it might be uncomfortable to say, can I call this person? But, you could say, hey, could you have this person who you've reached out and contact me so we can begin getting a better idea. Because again, the idea is to provide an experience that provides memories for everybody, and we all sort of want to work together. We're not in competition when we're at an event together. So let's find out how we can make each other and build each other up and perform. And for Santas, it could just be as simple as telling the other performer what your favorite cookie is, or who your head elf at the North Pole is. Mrs. Claus, what is your first name? How did you meet Santa? And just getting that, because if you are able to boost each other's stories and support each other's stories, you will create a mutual backstory for both of you, even though you haven't worked together, and you may not ever work together again. You never know. But at the same time, you will create a connection with another performer. So if you are going to be hired and, hey, do you have a Mrs. Claus? And why, yes, I was working with this one Mrs. Claus. You can contact her separately and find out if she's available for that time. And that's a good way of providing a networking ability and building more work for yourself and building up other Christmas performers' works. And you will find that as you work more and more with other people, that you will begin having to remember everybody's stories and everything. And Phineas has his little red book, which has a list of the different performers Phineas works with who they are, what their backstory is, and just providing, just being able for me to look up, oh, I'm working with this Mrs. Claus. This is her first name. This is how she met Santa. This is her favorite cookie to enjoy. This is her favorite cookie to make. This is basically what she does at the North Pole. So once again, we're all trying to tell a story. And if we can tell the same story when we're on an event together, we're going to provide a good experience for our customers and clients. And we're going to be able to support each other as a Christmas performer community. And it's just a very simple thing to do. It could be a 5-minute phone call. a quick conversation before the gig itself, but just be there, be open, and be ready to support each other in building that wonderful Christmas memory.
So true. And that's what that word professional is. It's so many things that you said, Myke. And when you know each other's backstory, or when you're not surprised that you get there and there's the big green guy or whatever, it makes everybody more professional and interact better. So that can't so well said, that to take those few minutes and pick up the phone, do a text, anything,
Yeah.
To connect, because that ups the entertainment value, that ups the professionalism, that ups the memories, everything Myke said. Great. Totally right. Totally. Ah, cool. Man, I knew it. I just have to ask that guy, these 38 years. Yeah, you got more up there than, yeah, you're.
Oh, I'm full of something. I know.
I didn't want to say it that way, Myke.
I'll say it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Wow, guys, can you believe it? It's almost, let's see now, 1 hour and 28 minutes into the show.
Yep.
So it's just about time to say skedaddle. Is there, I don't know if we have any questions or comments besides wonderful comments. Thank you, Patrick. Great show. Thank you. And I agree, Mel. Wonderful, wonderful words, Myke. I totally agree.
Thank you.
And so one more thing you want to say, Myke, to everybody before we call this a day?
Well, I wanted to thank you and Angela for being such excellent hosts and welcoming me to co-host with you. It's greatly appreciated. I'm glad to be able to help out and be substitute Bob,
You're missing something here, though, Myke. You're missing something.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Phineas looks like the evil Mr. Spock when he grows a beard. So I've tried the bearded Phineas,
That'd be interesting to see. Live, so it wouldn't be live long; it'd be live short and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Again, Myke, thank you for joining us. Seriously, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It was always great to have your knowledge and your input. You are a true professional. A couple of years ago, we were at Jingle Joy, and Myke's out there playing guitar and singing, and I'm going, God, it just was great. Then I had to do my little spiel or my little magic thing after Myke's up there playing guitar and singing some original stuff. It was fantastic. So we're just so glad you could be here, Myke. And again, Angela, thank you. Always make my job and everybody's job so much easier. Bob, if you're there, thank you again for everything you have done for all these shows through all these years. There's no way I can thank you, or hope every these people can thank you enough for how much work and effort and love you put into all this to make the holiday performers better and to connect the holidays, connect us together in fellowship. Thanks, Bob. Really. We love you, Bob. Just safe travels. Hope you have a great week. So anything you need to say, Angela? Since you're looking great on there. Great to see you.
Thank y'all for the good show. Y'all did great today, and looking forward to the next show on Monday. You're going to do the next Monday one too, right?
Yeah, Bob, because Bob will be traveling back on Monday, so we'll probably do the same thing Monday. So,
okay.
So stick back, Myke. If you can hang around, we'll do the green room for a few moments.
Will do.
Thanks, Angela. Again, everybody, thank you very much. It's Bob, Randyl and Company, of course, with special co-host Myke Hutchings, or Phineas from the North Country. And thank you, Angela. We'll see you all next week. Don't forget Tuesday Night Live, Kringle Time, and of course, Mel's Magical Fellowship. And they're all free, guys. Free, like it says on the bottom of the thing now. So don't miss it. YouTube, Facebook, it's all there for you guys to watch again. Everybody, be safe, be happy, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.